What's up, Amplified Unit? This is the Raw preview for 3/16/2020. Austin 316 returns tonight, as we know, but not in front of a live arena. Yes, it is going to be placed right back at the Performance Center, just like SmackDown was this past Friday. We're going to talk all about it in the big stories and segments that they have planned tonight. WWE has released their little preview. If this was in front of a live crowd, I wouldn't have too much concern. Unlike the Bray Wyatt John Cena promo from this past Friday, which actually benefited from not having a live audience, I don't know if these segments planned for tonight's Raw can withstand that type of success. We'll see. We will talk about it in this vid. First, I just want to go over two other topics real quick with you guys. Number one, the lead doctors for the CDC are now recommending that there are no gatherings in the United States over 50 human beings together in one place. Now, clearly, this is going to compromise many work facilities, where a lot of workplaces have way more than 50 individuals working at any given time. But this is where these work establishments have to get creative and find ways to get under that 50-person threshold that the CDC is recommending around the United States, even to the point where Vince McMahon had to tell his employees at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, he had to tell them that if you can work from home, now is the time to leave. For the foreseeable future, for the next few weeks at least, you're working from home now. So even WWE headquarters, those employees, they have to work from home if they can. Only those that need to be in Stamford, Connecticut need to be at WWE headquarters. Only those that need to be should be there. So that shows you that Vince is being forced to take that action regardless. Just think about WrestleMania, right? I mean, this is the CDC, the main doctor saying no establishment should have over 50 people at any given time. And in about a couple weeks, we're going to have tens of thousands of people congregating for WrestleMania. Just imagine Vince's response when he found out that the government doesn't want more than 50 people at a time at any gathering. And Vince is like, well, what's the problem? 50 people? 100,000 people. Apples and oranges. It's all the same. The show will go on, damn it. Everybody's looking at Vince like, what the hell is this dude on? We're asking you keep this under 50 so we can control this. You're talking about an event that's carrying or bringing in 100,000 people. Even if 70,000 were supposed to show up in the arena, the stadium, you know damn well thousands more were coming in for all the other events. But Vince refuses to try to work with government officials. He is just show must go on mentality. And again, guys, usually that is heroic to me. Usually I love that shining armor stud, right? The one that's standing up when everybody else is falling down. The one who is not giving in to mass hysteria. I love that individual. That's a true badass. But because it's Vince McMahon in this situation, look at his track record. This isn't Vince being a badass. This is Vince being a greedy bastard. This is all about money for Vince. Look at his track record. So because of that, I can't look at Vince and be like, yeah, let's do WrestleMania, man. Screw it. You know, I can't even get behind them because we know his track record. We know this is just about him. He truly doesn't give a shit about what's going around in the world, whether it's as serious as people are hyping it up to be or whether it's just overhyped. That doesn't matter. Vince doesn't really give a crap. It's about money to him. And because of that, I can't get behind it. You know, if this was just a dude who has shown time and time again that it's never been about money, It's just about what he believes is right, and he believes he can have this show go off without a hitch or with limited damage. Maybe I can get behind that. Maybe. But the fact that he's willing to have everybody show up when there's still a lot of information we're trying to get about this thing, and everybody else is saying, dude, maybe we shouldn't be bringing in large crowds, even 100 people, 200 people, way too much. And Vince is like, thousands. Go big or go home. I have no idea, but that's the latest, guys. I just want to let you guys know that the CDC, their main doctors, are recommending crowds of no more than 50. This jeopardizes WrestleMania even more. It's another nail in that coffin. It's another hitch in the plans. And I've told you for a week now, I believe fully that WrestleMania is being canceled. You can call it postponed, right? They're obviously going to try to do it at another time or at another... They're going to change it up. But to me, a postponement, a rescheduling is still canceling, right? Because WrestleMania was supposed to be April the, 5th? April 5th, Tampa Bay. If it is not April 5th in Tampa Bay, then it's no longer the same WrestleMania to me. If you took the heartbeat out of the crowd, which was all of Europe, in fact, they even put the travel ban now on the United Kingdom, which wasn't originally there. They're even talking about domestic travel bans, which would mean flying within the United States to another United States location. So even that's probably going to be compromised by April 5th. But let's just take Europe, for instance. With the heartbeat of the crowd not even there, this is not WrestleMania. So you can call it rescheduled, you can call it postponed, but I believe from the jump, when this really started to become serious, that there's no way WrestleMania could go on. And I'm not too shocked that here we are, the 16th of March, and Vince McMahon is still refusing to accept the fact that because of public safety concerns, he's just going to have to end this shit once and for all. He does not want to lose a dollar. Don't think for 1 second, guys, he's just trying to defeat the hype. Don't think for 1 second, guys, that he's just trying to stand his ground and become that white knight. This is for money. This is because he doesn't want to lose a dollar. And because of that, you really shouldn't support a son of a bitch like that. If it was for the right reasons, shit, even I would get behind him. Anyway, that's my opening seg on the CDC and now recommending no gatherings more than 50. Now, that's a recommendation last I heard. If government officials decide to, they could make that a mandate. Then it becomes mandatory, and then obviously the city of Tampa and the state of Florida no longer even have a say in WrestleMania. Then the government's just going to shut the fucking shit down. That becomes no more of an issue. So whether Vince does it, the state does it, it doesn't matter. It looks like the government eventually is going to do such. So that's the latest, guys. I know I've been trying to keep you guys up to date for the last week now. That's the latest that we heard. Now they're saying no more than 50. And one other thing before I get to Raw's preview tonight, I just want to say a lot of you guys told me that you couldn't order the Think Be Live Amplified shirt and the Please Stop Talking, I Don't Like You shirts. That was because I did talk to Teespring, and apparently they have a policy where there's a max capacity order. So if they get a lot of orders at once, just to legitimize them, they will cut the shirt off for a given amount of time, usually between 15 to 24 hours. So that's probably what you experienced. For some reason, and I'm very grateful for this, last Wednesday and Thursday, a lot of those two shirts, the Think Be Live shirts and the Please Stop Talking shirts, those sold like wildfire, man. A lot of people showed up and bought those up. And I'm not sure why, because I very rarely mention my own merch on the channel. I'm always wearing it for sure, because it's the most comfortable clothing I own is my own merch, go figure. But I don't mention it unless I want to say thank you to you guys, or there was an issue, or I just have a new product that is up on the Amplified merchandise store, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. That's really the only time that I mentioned my own merch. So maybe I did mention it a time or two last week. I don't know. But you guys definitely flocked to those 2 shirts more specifically and sold it out. So I thank you. I did speak to Teespring on Friday afternoon. They assured me that both shirts should be ready to go by this week. So I'm hoping even today, when this video does air, hopefully below this video where you guys see the merch line and all of the Amplified merchandise, all the t-shirts, the hoodie, hopefully those 2 shirts are back in the lineup and able to be ordered. I really do hope so, because both are celebrating a milestone too. My Think, Be, Live Amplified shirt, guys, that's about to hit the 300th sale. So the very next person to get that Think, Be, Live Amplified shirt, you're going to be number 300. Congrats. And I thank you, and I appreciate that. And also a mini milestone for my brand new shirt, which is the Please Stop Talking, I Don't Like You. That's about to celebrate its 100th sale. So the next person to purchase that is going to be number 100. I always thought that was pretty cool. So I wanted to thank you guys in advance. And by the way, so again, just to wrap that up, both shirts hopefully will be back on the market this week. Hopefully even in this video. You just check down below. Underneath the video, you'll see the merchandise store. Hopefully all the shirts are able to be ordered. If not, please keep trying back, guys. If you wanted those shirts in particular, they will be back and be able to be sold within the week. So please keep trying back. All right. I did not take them down. And before I end the merch conversation, I just want to thank whoever bought one of every single shirt and even the hoodie. I've seen a lot of people and I've heard a lot of people tell me that they own every piece of Amplified merchandise, and I thank you. I've never seen somebody get every single piece of merchandise all at once. Somebody did that. I thought that was really awesome because I have all the analytics, and I just saw like in like a 5-minute period, one of each was purchased. I'm guessing it was all from the same person. I really think that was awesome. I never saw that before. So, or if I did, it was maybe when I first ever put the merch up for grabs. But even then, I didn't have 5 pieces of merch. So either way, that would be the new record. So thank you to whoever that was as well. I think that's pretty badass. So that's the topic of the merch, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know. A lot of you guys were trying to order it and could not find it. It would not allow you to purchase it. It's because it was taken down. It was not from yours truly. It was from Teespring. That has been resolved. And hopefully, by now even, those shirts are ready to be sold. So there you go. Now we can move on to the topic at hand. Monday Night Raw 3/16/2020. They're calling it Austin 316 Day. So let's talk about that right from the jump. Stone Cold Steve Austin returning to WWE for 316 Day. We didn't know if that was going to be canceled once they found out that they were no longer emanating from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they were going to be in an empty performance center. Well, they kept Stone Cold on this program, and I just don't know what it's going to do in front of no crowd at all. This is where Stone Cold's coming back. Personally, I would have X-nayed it, but they're probably thinking they have 3 hours to fill. They have to have talent, even if it's from decades ago. They have to have people that are going to make their audience want to stick around. Well, when you hear the name Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's probably going to do the trick. So Steve Austin is still advertised for tonight, as is the Undertaker showing up tonight. Again, without a live crowd. I don't know if this could have been worse for WWE. The timing right before Mania. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull this off. Now, on SmackDown, Bray Wyatt had a promo with John Cena that I thought was absolutely brilliant and perfect. But a lot of what added to that, or why it became brilliant and perfect, was because there was no crowd. I thought that actually benefited them. Can they make that type of a situation and scenario with The Undertaker and Styles? Possibly. Undertaker has that mystique behind his character. He's got that special aura that not a lot of individuals aside from Bray Wyatt have, so The Undertaker could pull that off. We know Styles is working with the best mic skills that his game has ever seen in his career lately. Last week, I feel he cut his best promo of his career. So it's possible. It's a long shot, but it's possible that without a crowd, this could be better than if there was a crowd. But it would have to be perfect. It would have to be flawlessly put together creatively. The booking of it, every piece of the puzzle would have to be flawless. I just can't give Vince McMahon that type of credit or benefit of the doubt. He hasn't earned it. Not in the last several years. So it has the capability of going off good without a live crowd, but it also has, and this is where I'm headed more, it has the capability more than anything to go off the tracks. And once it goes off those tracks, I just don't see them being able to put it back on. If this was in front of the live crowd, I would have put in both The Undertaker and Stone Cold in the same segment, right? I had something really cool in mind where if they're going to do Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania anyway, which I've just seen too many times, I'm not interested in Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. But if you're going to do it, at least put them in unique, interesting situations. So I would have had, before Styles goes face-to-face with The Undertaker for the contract signing, and again, this would have been my booking if they were in front of a live crowd still. Because this type of thing only works if it was in front of a live crowd. But before Styles and Undertaker go face-to-face, I would have had Styles cut a deal with the Messiah himself, Seth Rollins, backstage. And both have a common interest. Rollins is tired of Owen showing up out of nowhere and attacking him. And Styles knows that The Undertaker can show up out of nowhere and attack him. So they have a common interest. Listen, we both have this one thorn in our side that we can't get rid of. You have a couple of people with you. I have a couple of people with me. I say the Architects of Pain unite with the OC, and together, 6 will always top 2. So they form a little union, and come the contract signing later in the night, The Undertaker is staring at 6 human beings. Styles and Gallows and Anderson, and of course, Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and one half of AOP. I believe Razar is still injured, correct, guys? So it would only be 3 out of the 4. One AOP member is injured. That's the last I heard anyway. Maybe it's not that serious. But at least 6 individuals would be staring at The Undertaker. And that's where you could have had Kevin Owens come down. True badass form. I don't care if there's 6 or 7 of you and only one of him. I'm gonna join Taker. I just want to fight. So then Owens comes down. That's where the numbers game is just too much for both Taker and Owens. Stone Cold's music hits. And wouldn't it be something if Owens and Austin were both hitting simultaneous stunners? I've never been a fan of Owens hitting stunners, because I never felt that that Stone Cold has truly passed that torch. But if they're doing it together, then that's a little bit of the passing of the torch for me. That's good enough for me. To see Stone Cold side by side with Owens dropping stunners. This is really going to piss off Rollins, and that could lead to some type of interest for Mania between Rollins and Owens. But also, it's a great way to utilize Stone Cold. He doesn't have to get too physical. A couple of stunners, no big deal. And while all the chaos is happening, Taker has AJ Styles by the throat. He could either deliver a chokeslam through the contract signing table. He could deliver a tombstone. Styles, amidst the chaos, could take out The Undertaker and run like a little bitch, true heel fashion. You could do so much. But just imagine the situation, imagine the visuals. The crowd would be popping. That would be a fun atmosphere. The numbers game always gets the crowd into it too. When you see 6 or 7 individuals just staring at The Undertaker, Owen's true badass form, I'm gonna help you, I don't care if we get our asses kicked. Stone Cold's music hits to even it up a little more. And Stone Cold's one of those dudes that can go through 7 individuals in 2.3 seconds. Owens and Stone Cold dropping simultaneous stunners. Undertaker middle of the ring with Styles. That's a pop. That's a cool segment. But I'm living in fantasy land the last several minutes because that's what I had planned for Pittsburgh. Now you're in the Performance Center. Now you're bringing Stone Cold back. Now you're bringing The Undertaker back with a contract signing with Styles. Not a peep is going to be made in that building. Pro wrestling is one of those rare things in life where the crowd at home is actually feeding off the crowd that's live. If we see a bored crowd or they're just boring, that translates at home. We see that, we hear that, we feel that. When we see a crowd that's popping, that jumps off our TV screen. The audience at home, now we're on the edge of our seat because we see how into it the crowd that's live, how passionate, how amplified they are. When you see no crowd, you get what we saw this past Friday with a tag team match with Bayley and Sasha taking on Nikki and Alexa, or Daniel Bryan taking on Cesaro, and those are 2 of the best wrestlers in the world, but with no audience, with no pulse. It's kind of hard to move around in this world, right? You need a pulse. The pulse of a pro wrestling show is a crowd. The heartbeat is the wrestlers, no question, but you gotta have a pulse, man. They work hand in hand. A pulse and a heartbeat, they go hand in hand. So I don't know how they're gonna go 3 hours. That was 2 hours. And again, the only thing that made that must-see TV Friday night is because we've never seen anything like that before. Right? We've seen matches in empty arenas, but we've never seen a complete show emanate from an empty arena because of a worldwide pandemic in the world in mass hysteria. Under those circumstances, last minute having to make the change and call the whole show on the fly, we've never seen anything like that in our lives, especially not in pro wrestling. But now we have. Now it's been days. This is no longer just last minute. You don't have to call this show on the fly like you did on SmackDown. So now you're going to be held to a higher standard. We're not just going to let you skate by on just some giggling and high school bullying antics at the commentary table like Triple H and Michael Cole. We thought that was funny Friday because they were truly trying to entertain us. Monday, you got to come with more than that. You can't just skate by. We're not going to throw you another mulligan. Now you have to put together tonight a dynamite show. No pun intended to AEW. But it has to be a dynamite show tonight. Doesn't matter if you're in front of 10,000 people or if you're in front of 10 people, which is just production. And that's what I mean. I don't know how you bring back Stone Cold in this atmosphere. You bring back The Undertaker. By the way, Edge was originally, I don't know if they took him out because they're no longer in Pittsburgh, but Edge was originally advertised for tonight. If they keep Edge, how do you bring him back in this type of atmosphere? It's not going to have the same effect. They're going to have to get super creative and book these pieces to the puzzle flawlessly. These pieces have to fit without any resistance from the other puzzle pieces. They have to glide in there smoothly to make this puzzle a pristine finished product tonight. Because once 1 or 2 things go off the rails, it's not going to get put back onto the track. The train is done at that point. Friday, we can easily give them the mulligan, right? Anybody that was too hard on SmackDown's program this past Friday, you're just an idiot and an asshole to a level that isn't even going to be concerned or fucked with. Nobody can slam that Friday show knowing what is going on in the world, knowing how last minute McMahon gave notice to all of those employees, all of those wrestlers, all of his talent, even Triple H, last minute, because that's what McMahon does. And somehow everyone came together and tried their asses off to at least entertain us. Under the circumstances, that's obviously going to be a mulligan. We'll give you that. Nobody's going to be too hard on you. Monday Night Raw. Tonight, that's a different story. You've had some time. You are a conglomerate billion-dollar company. You have supposedly 617 creative genius writers. Now you're not going to get the mulligan. Again, if you're in front of 10,000 people or 10 people, doesn't matter now. Now you got to put those big boy pants on and deliver a worthy show. You refuse to cancel WrestleMania. So now you're really not going to get a mulligan. What you're telling everyone is you're still building to WrestleMania. Well, you better give us a 3-hour damn well worthy build to such. Because if we don't get a WrestleMania build type of show tonight, you're going to hear about it. An amplified review for sure. No mulligan tomorrow. My review tomorrow is going to be straight up acting as if this was a Raw to build us to Mania in just a couple weeks. Because according to the old man, that's what this is. Treat it the same way. Will it be odd? Will it be weird? Will it be one of the strangest Raws we've ever seen? Absolutely. Maybe, most likely, the most strangest Raw we've ever seen. But it doesn't mean I'm throwing them a mulligan. They have time. They even have hours now from the time I'm making this vid right now. From the time you guys are hearing my voice right now, they still have hours to go before Raw. There is no reason they don't put together a badass show. Are they completely hands tied? You bet they are. This is where they act like a conglomerate billion-dollar company with all these supposed Hollywood genius writers. Put your big boy pants on and let's rock this out. Mania build starts now, more than ever. We'll see what they actually produce. I'm expecting a lot of people that don't even tune into Raw regularly every week. I expect a lot of individuals to be tuning in tonight just to see the chaos, just to see how weird it's going to be, just to see what they actually are going to try to do. But regardless, we're all going to tune in for 3 hours or a bulk or a piece of those 3 hours. We're all tuning in to, let's be honest, at the end of the day, be entertained. We don't want to see those individuals, those wrestlers, our superstars, that company. We don't want to see it fail. We want to see it succeed. So that's what we're really going to tune in to see. See it succeed. We don't want it to fail. We're trying our very best to portray our message to Vince to help him succeed. The old man just refuses to listen to us. And if they fall flat on their face tonight, it's nobody's fault but their own. And I'm not throwing them mulligans in tomorrow's review. They're gonna hear about it, one way or the other. I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Which, don't worry. Again, that'll just be tomorrow for the review of Raw. Until then, think, be, live, amplify.